Hey guys, welcome back to another Sunday night show, also known as Drinking in the Dark with Frugal Tiger. We're gonna go over some stocks to watch this week, and hopefully we can continue to make money together. Tomorrow is Monday. It's also the first of the month on November. And chances are, usually on the first of every month, you're gonna see a lot of buying. Just be cognizant, if you have short positions on, just be cognizant that S&P tends to move more often than not on a balance of probabilities up quite a bit on the first of the month. So a lot of that is just repositioning for a lot of funds and window dressing, etc., as they have extra money they need to put to work. Anyway, I don't think the S&P is going to be the major trade this week as it was a few weeks back. I think one of the major trades coming up this week is Lucid, ticker symbol LCID. It had a huge pop last week, shot up to like $42 a share, had a huge run. Then it dropped back down to like 36 or so. We're gonna see if that continued movement higher is going to play through this week as well. It's actually a very tricky name to trade on setups. Moves tend to be extended further than it normally are, and then they drop off as well. So watch Lucid. I think ticker symbol LCID is going to be one of the main stocks you want to watch this week. Once again, delivery is expected on its first vehicle. DWAC is the other ticker from last week. Continue to watch this, you guys. You need to trade this both ways. Just take a slightly smaller size, you guys. It's thinly traded still, meaning you could see 30-40 cent moves between fills. So DWAC, there's still movement here. I would still watch this. The other one I want to talk about is BKKT, BKKT. This is another ticker. It's a kind of like a crypto play. In my opinion, we were trading Mara last year pretty heavily, you guys. We were trading some other cryptocurrency stocks pretty heavily. BKKT is one that I'd be watching right now. It has a continued movement. I had a bad trade on it Friday because I thought the trade was done. I didn't really size into it. I might try to do an earnings video about that, but there's still movement there. I was faked out. You know, a lot of the FANG names did good, like Google did break out. I was worried Google would double top, but it did break out. I'm not sure if that continued movement is still gonna be there. Shopify has some force, you guys. Maybe pay attention to Shopify from last week's earnings. But the earning that I want to talk about, earnings and the move that I want to talk about was from 2 weeks ago still, Tesla. Tesla still has the move, you guys. It broke above 1,100 a share. Are we going to continue to see that? Very possible. EV is big in play right now, you guys. Plug is also moving. I know you guys think I'm obsessed with Plug, but Plug is around $38 a share, keeps breaking out. I trimmed an enormous portion of my position. In Plug, I will probably trim a little bit more this week if it continues to run higher. I might not be buying the dips again though this time, okay? Yeah, that's more or less it for all the tickers I wanted to talk about from last week's movement. LCID, BKKT, those are the two big ones that I would make sure you're trading both ways. Anyway, Monday we have the big earnings. This might be the play of the week this week. AMC. AMC is kind of at a critical juncture, you guys. There were days where I was worried that it would break below 32, 33. If it does break below $32 a share, right now it's at like 35 and change, you could have a run down. So just be cognizant. AMC earnings are in play. I don't know how good the earnings are gonna be. I have about 800 shares on still. Keep in mind, my original AMC trades usually around 2,000 to 3,000 shares a pop. I am now trading at around 800, and honestly, it's feeling a little gambly. AMC usually has a lot of support between the 35 to 36, but once again, if you look at the chart, anything below 32, I would maybe consider that this trade, as sorry as I am to say this, because I would have loved to have watched this run to the moon, this trade might be over. So at 32, you go back to right now, I'm not necessarily watching the level 2 so much on AMC. I'm not necessarily watching the tape. I was literally able to buy it multiple times around 36 and flip it multiple times around 40. I feel at 32, you have to watch the tape super heavily and potentially cut your position if you have one. Tuesday, we have Corsair. Corsair is one I actually think is a good long-term play to buy. Having said that, my worry right now is the fact that chips and parts like that a lot of the semiconductor industry in general, they're having some issues with supply chains and management and things like that. That could affect Corsair's business altogether. I don't know whether it's a good buy here or wait for earnings. Maybe it could drop on earnings and buy it then. I might pick up probably 500 shares. You know what, when I say I might, I'm probably gonna pick up 500 shares at this price, but it could also drop lower from here. So just be cognizant about that. Monday we have AMC, Tuesday we have Corsair, Wednesday we have 4 names that I'm looking at. Skills is like a video game, distributed video game based company. Ticker symbol SKLZ. It's one Kathy Woods keeps buying and trimming. I would kind of play it the same way. It had a huge drop from 18. I remember trading it at around 18. And then once again, I started buying it around 8. Already trimmed my position. We're gonna see if Skills can make a run. Roku, you guys, this name just is kind of like this week's version of Shopify. If it breaks higher, you buy it. If earnings causes it to drop lower, you short it, okay? That's just my take on Roku. It's a major mover. Pay attention to that. Qualcomm and Etsy, these are lesser names in terms of like great earnings plays, but I'd watch them because Wednesday is a little light, and up until Wednesday, we have pretty light names to be watching, earnings based. Thursday is where we have just a plethora of names, and once again, you can trade these leading up into Thursday, as big traders and funds are probably repositioning throughout the week. We have Moderna, absolutely a must-watch stock. I've mentioned this on the channel like 3-4 weeks ago. Must-watch stock, ticker symbol mRNA. We have BABA. BABA, Charlie Munger seems to be on board buying BABA here. Just be cognizant, it is a Chinese ADR. I had a quick conversation of what that means a few Sunday videos back. There are some risks associated with ADRs, but if Berkshire doesn't care, maybe I'm just a paranoid bum. Anyway, we have Square, Jack Dorsey's legendary company, Airbnb, ABNB. We have Datadog. I'm not going to go over any of these levels too much. Pins has already had quite a sell-off, but I have a feeling that it might have a similar type of reaction as Snapchat. These are both social media type platforms I don't think have really caught fire yet. And maybe you can skip Pinterest, or, I don't know. With the Pinterest trade, and I see it potentially going the way at Snapchat, where it can just open drop quite a bit based on, I don't know a single person that uses it. Anyway, we have Dropbox, ticker symbol DBAX, Novavax, NVAX, SHAK, which has had, SHAK has had quite a bleed out. It hit $120 a share, dropped down to $61 a share. They are my favorite burgers. I'm actually gonna take a small position here on SHAK at $61 a share for a medium-term trade. It could go against me, of course, but the burgers, man, are so good. They're so good. Their profit margins, essentially they dropped because they claim their profit margins were down during the COVID era, but we'll see. Honestly, there's a lot of other names that I would potentially recommend, but let me see here. Win usually is a good trade, but I mentioned like 10 names on Thursday, and of the ones that I really recommend you watch are Moderna. BABA sometimes has muted action, so maybe it's not the best earnings trade. Moderna, Square can have a huge move, Airbnb could have a huge move, and Datadog. But I would still watch BABA. Pinterest could drop. The one I didn't mention is Viacom has had a bleed out ever since Bill Huang's blow up. There were, even I took, full disclosure, I took a trade around $43 a share with Viacom a while back when I saw that it was basically holding the 40 to 41 and basically no action. I cut my position in Viacom. It's had a slow bleed out. We could potentially see another push on earnings. Honestly, if you ask me what my long-term price target would be on Viacom. I owned it a while back, but I owned it at like $12, $13 a share. I managed to sell it around $30 something a share, and I was so floored when it hit $100 a share. But a lot of that buying was due to the Archegos capital debacle that happened and the huge Bill Hwang blow up that we saw in the hedge fund industry. Anyway, all that said, you can decide to watch Viacom or not. We've talked about too much to already watch on Thursday's action alone. Friday, not much. If you want to know the truth, I think the big trade of the week will probably be AMC. Early in the week, potentially Lucid, maybe BKKT from last week. That's it for me. Hope you all have a good trading week, and I'll see you next week. I just want the money, 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 money.